US President Donald Trump openly warned that UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is making a big mistake over the future of Diego Garcia. Jordan's Muwaffaq Salti air base and the remote US stronghold on Diego Garcia are emerging as two pivotal launchpads in Donald Trump's potential war strategy against Iran. Diego Garcia is a remote but strategically vital American military base long used as a hub for US bomber, surveillance, and naval operations across the Middle East and beyond. US allies' sudden and unexpected move has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, raising serious questions about whether it could derail President Trump's carefully laid plans for a possible campaign against Iran. US President Donald Trump declared that British Prime Minister Keir Starmer was making what he called a big mistake, signaling sharp disapproval of the UK's latest foreign policy move. Trump openly criticised London's decision to enter into a new lease agreement with Mauritius regarding control and administration of the Chagos Islands, calling it a short-sighted deal. This comes as the United Kingdom officially transferred sovereignty over the Chagos Islands to Mauritius, fulfilling the terms of a landmark 2025 agreement signed between the two nations. The British-controlled Chagos Archipelago, located deep in the Indian Ocean, is home to the highly strategic and remote US military base of Diego Garcia. Under the new arrangement, the UK still retains authority over the pivotal Diego Garcia base, continuing its operations under a 99-year lease that secures Western military presence in the region. President Trump stressed that the base could prove vital for future US military operations, emphasizing its capability to eradicate a potential attack from Iran or other hostile actors in the Middle East. Trump said, quote, "I have been telling Prime Minister Keir Starmer, of the United Kingdom, that leases are no good when it comes to countries and that he is making a big mistake by entering a 100-year lease with whoever it is that is claiming right, title, and interest in Diego Garcia, strategically located in the Indian Ocean. Our relationship with the United Kingdom is a strong and powerful one, and it has been for many years, but Prime Minister Starmer is losing control of this important island by claims of entities never known of before. In our opinion, they are fictitious in nature. Should Iran decide not to make a deal, it may be necessary for the United States to use Diego Garcia, and the airfield located in Fairford, in order to eradicate a potential attack by a highly unstable and dangerous regime, an attack that would potentially be made on the United Kingdom, as well as other friendly countries. Prime Minister Starmer should not lose control, for any reason, of Diego Garcia, by entering a tenuous, at best, 100-year lease. This land should not be taken away from the UK and, if it is allowed to be, it will be a blight on our great ally. We will always be ready, willing, and able to fight for the UK, but they have to remain strong in the face of wokeism, and other problems put before them. Do not give away Diego Garcia," unquote. A senior British official described the new agreement as crucial to the security of the United Kingdom and its key allies, underscoring its importance for collective regional stability. The spokesperson further emphasized that this arrangement represented the only viable path to secure the long-term future and operational sustainability of the Diego Garcia base. President Trump's latest remarks added a fresh layer of complexity, marking a significant new diplomatic twist in the simmering Anglo-American tensions surrounding the Chagos Islands deal. Officials in London maintained that the government had little choice but to finalize the agreement, pointing to binding international court rulings that left them with limited legal options. Back in January, Trump had sharply criticized the deal, going so far as to label the arrangement an act of great stupidity on the part of Britain's new leadership. By early February, however, he softened his tone slightly, saying he understood that Prime Minister Starmer had negotiated what he believed was the best possible outcome under the circumstances. Still, Trump warned that the United States reserved the right to militarily secure the Diego Garcia base if it were ever threatened or if US interests came under direct risk. Then, on February 17, the US State Department issued an official statement signaling support for the agreement and toning down speculation of a rift between the two allies. That statement reaffirmed Washington's backing of London's decision to proceed with its arrangement with Mauritius concerning the future governance of the Chagos Islands. It also announced that US and Mauritian officials are scheduled to hold talks next week to discuss defense cooperation and related regional security matters. The deal arrives at a highly sensitive time, as tensions escalate across the Middle East amid growing fears of a broader military confrontation between Iran and the United States. The United States has significantly increased its military footprint in Jordan, focusing its operations around the strategically important Muwaffaq Salti air base near Israel. More than 30 advanced attack aircraft, accompanied by reconnaissance drones, are now positioned at the base, ready to counter any emerging threat from Iran or its regional proxies. Nearly 4,000 American troops are currently stationed across Jordan, tasked with strengthening regional security and supporting allied operations throughout the Middle East. Recently, satellite imagery released by China's Vision confirmed the presence of the US THAAD missile defense system deployed at the Jordanian airbase, indicating expanded defensive measures. On February 15, several Iranian media channels broadcast footage purportedly showing detailed visuals of Jordan's Muwaffaq Salti air base. The animated clip appeared to display critical features of the facility, including ramp zones, aircraft taxiways, and the precise layout of its main runways. Turkey's pro-government newspaper Yeni Şafak reported that the release of this footage carried subtle but strategic signals directed toward Washington and its military commanders. Defense sources say the Muwaffaq Salti installation has evolved into a central hub for America's expanding air operations across the wider Middle East. Current reports suggest the base hosts an impressive mix of U.S. Air Force and Navy assets, including F-15 Eagles, F-35A Lightning IIs, A-10C Warthogs, and EA-18G Growler aircraft. In parallel, the U.S. Navy has deployed at least 10 major warships to the Middle East over the past few weeks, among them the nuclear-powered carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. These vessels are expected to be joined soon by the USS Gerald R. Ford and 6 additional guided missile destroyers, further enhancing U.S. strike capabilities. Such a buildup would allow Washington to launch thousands of aerial sorties and precision Tomahawk cruise missile strikes deep inside Iranian territory if necessary. According to intelligence assessments, the United States is preparing for the possibility that ongoing diplomatic negotiations with Iran could completely break down. Israeli outlet Inet News reported that any offensive against Iran could resemble the 12-day war model of 2025, a joint US-Israeli strike operation designed to deliver rapid results. Meanwhile, Iran has stepped up its own military drills, conducting live-fire exercises in the Strait of Hormuz designed to simulate large-scale naval warfare scenarios. Analysts estimate that Tehran's arsenal now includes thousands of ballistic warheads across short, medium, and long-range categories, posing a formidable challenge to regional stability. Tensions have continued to rise sharply, despite both the US and Iran recently holding 2 rounds of indirect nuclear talks aimed at de-escalation and reviving diplomatic engagement.